First of all, as a radio host, I'm always seeking conflict because I don't have a co-host, like a guy that sits next to me all the time.
Sure.
So I seek conflict. Movies seek conflict. TV shows seek conflict. I was hoping two things happened last night. That Johnny Manziel was unbelievable and that Derrick Rose was unbelievable. Well, Johnny Manziel didn't do anything because Cincinnati's freaking great. And I'll get to that in a second. So nobody's going to call me and say anything. Derrick Rose fanboys, all be up in arms.
I have a lot to say as well. We can get to that, though.
So we'll get to that. Let me describe something here. We are all kind of at the mercy of our bodies. I am. LaDainian Tomlinson was the best running back in the NFL. You could argue the best player along with Ray Lewis for about a 10-year period. LaDainian Tomlinson for 8 years, carrying the ball 25 times a game, missed one start. That start was just because they won their division and they had a playoff game the next week, so they rested him. LaDainian Tomlinson, that's his DNA. Not that he doesn't deserve credit, but John Lynch was the hardest hitting safety, arguably in the league for a decade, never had a concussion, was almost never hurt. Eli Manning, Brett Favre, never missed starts. Yet Sam Bradford, Arian Foster can't stay healthy. I know you're all so excited for Derrick Rose. He's going to get hurt again and again and again. It's been established. Think about this. Michael Jordan was not only the best clutch player in the league and the best offensive player, he was the best defensive player in the league for a decade. That's really what separates him from a lot of other great players. Magic Johnson was great. He wasn't defensively Michael. There was a 13-year stretch where Jordan missed 7 games. Gary Payton, the glove, was for a decade the best defensive guard in the league, 1 or 2 guard outside of Jordan. Gary Payton, his first 10 years, missed 2 games, and he was on teams that went deep into the playoffs. Derrick Rose has missed 212 in 4 seasons and played 106. It's great that Derrick Rose had a nice night, but he's shooting 39% the last 3 years. He is a low assist point guard and not an elite defender. He had a super-duper game last night. Just like sometimes LeBron is awful, but it doesn't define what he is. We know 8 years, 7 years in the league, we know what Derrick Rose is. Exciting, can break you down and get to the rack. He still hasn't hit a three-pointer this year. He's not a good shooter. He's not a great defender. He's not an elite distributor. It's fun as heck to watch, and he has these wild nights. Last night at home, he had one of these great D. Rose nights, but he'll get hurt again. And Arian Foster and Sam Bradford, and that's just the way it is. I need 4.5 hours. We were joking this morning. You know your body, and I know my body. There's people listening to my show today driving to work, and they were born with something, DNA, genealogy, and they're just sick more often. And there's nothing they can do. And their coworkers probably think they're lazy, or they're just sick more often. There's nothing they can do about it. I need 4.5 hours sleep. And if I don't get it, I will be sick that day. No, I'm not joking. If I don't get 4.5 hours sleep, I will be sick that day. It's the way my body works. I got to get 4.5. Now, I try to get 6. I always get 5, 5.5. I will get sick, sore throat within the day. It's the way my body works. Give you an example. I had a buddy, Pat Boyle, who I work with initially at ESPN. And Pat Boyle, one time, goes down to South Carolina to golf with some guys. And they play like 48, 72 holes in the summer in South Carolina for 3 straight days. Now think about that. Playing 18 holes in humidity, I'm worn out. They played 2 and 3 rounds a day, 3 days, humidity, drinking hard. And then I see Pat at work on a Monday, and I think it was Pat. Pat's a big, tall guy, kind of strapping guy. And I'm like, oh, how do you feel? He's a little worn out. I'm like, a little worn out? I'd need a 6-week IV. Like, his body could handle it. I've met guys who can golf and drink and golf, and it's relentless, and I can't explain it. I didn't get that DNA. I get sick really easy if I don't get my sleep. So when Derrick Rose goes out and plays these great games, it's like, okay, but it's been defined. He's a low assist, poor shooting, ball-centric, average defending, flashy player with moments of brilliance, but he's fragile. It's been established. That's what he is. It's been established. Patrick Beverley plays his ass off on defense. Mike Conley's limited, but gives you everything he has. It's all been established. Now, he's played 6 games, been awful in 5. He had a really good one last night, and everybody's going crazy. Derrick Rose is spectacular. But if you are a general manager in this league and you fall for it because he has 7 or 8 good games in a row, that's a you problem. Because really all players they're commodities. And if you look at them like commodities, you buy low and you sell high. Derrick Rose, coming into this season with another injury, if I'm the Bulls, I'm going to play him 40 minutes. I'm going to let him take all his shots. I want him to drop 28 about 7 games in a row. Then as a commodity, sell high. Because he's going to get hurt again. He is.
I don't think that he ignores the media, Colin. I think he actually listens to you and dedicated his game to you last night to prove you wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's here every night in Chicago. He's glued. He may be glued to you. He's not glued to me.
I'll take it, though. If you're going to inspire him to give that kind of performance, you keep on going. Isn't there a chance, though, that maybe he's going to be okay and maybe this is the player that he can be if he doesn't get hurt again?
You sound like a bad NBA general manager.
Oh, no. I'd be a really good GM, actually.